Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do a volume of a cone now. Okay, so and again I want to remind you guys, I forgot to remind you on the previous video of the pyramids, that you could find these formulas in under teams, right? If you go to our files, and they're right there. Okay, and then you just scroll down a little bit and you'll see a section that's specifically for volume, and you would just use those formulas. Now I know it's kind of small, but I went ahead and I wrote down the formula. This formula works for both pyramids and cones. Okay, if you don't have access to this, just keep in mind you could always go online and type in, volume of a cone, and it gives you the volume of the cone. It gives you a formula that you could look at. Okay. All right, so let's get to it. So we have our cone here, and again, we already talked about its parts on the video on surface area. But just to remind you, your height of the cone is obviously the one that goes from the tip straight down to your base, making a 90-degree angle. That's your height. There are times when they're going to give you the slant height instead, as you'll see in the problem below. And all you need to keep in mind there is that you end up creating a right triangle. And so you could end up doing Pythagorean theorem if you knew two sides. So let's go ahead and do this problem. So this problem right here is the straightforward problem. Again, big B still stands for area of the base. That's still what it stands for. But our base is a circular base. Right now I'm telling you that the radius is 10, right? So if I wanted to find the area here, it's just pi r squared. So we just put, pi times, in this case, 10 squared. Be careful. Sometimes you'll be given diameter instead, and just remember you have to divide that by 2. Okay, 159. All right, so that's my big B. That's my area of the base. My height was already given. My height was 8. And so now I just plug it in, right? So 314.16 times 8 over 3. That's what volume is going to be. And so in this case, my volume in the end, so 314.16 times, so it was 8 divided by 3. We get a volume of 838.56, and again, units cubed, whatever it could be. Volume has units cubed. All right. All right, next problem. So in this problem, again, this video is focusing on you being able to find volume, so we're going to be using the same formula. If we look at our circular base, it has a radius of 9, so we could easily calculate the area here. So pi, see, I could just borrow this one and then just change that to a 9. All right, so pi times 9 squared, that gives me an area of 254.47. And then my height. Remember how your height goes from the very tip perpendicularly down. Well, right now we don't know it. But like I was telling you a little while ago, here they gave me this 12, and this 12 is my slanted height. That's a thing, right? And we use it when we're looking for the surface area, but we don't need it for volume. The big thing here is we have a right triangle. You know your hypotenuse, and so we're going to do a quick little subtraction deal here. So I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem to get h. And I do 12 squared minus 9 squared. 12 squared minus 9 squared. So I get that my height is 7.9. So again, we know our height, we know our base. We're just going to multiply them. And we're going to divide by 3 because that's what volume tells us to do. So my volume is 254.47 times 7.9 divided by 3. My volume is of 670.1. And again, units cubed. I didn't put any units here, but if there were inches, this would be inches cubed. Very important that you keep in mind that they are units cubed. And that's it on volume, guys. It's pretty straightforward. Like always, if for some reason they gave you volume, you could always work backwards to solve for the height or for the radius in this case. Go ahead and look at those other formulas we've done in the past. It's just manipulation. All right then.